Now on CoastTV News.
Deadly rip currents ahead of hurricane. Ocean City lifeguards on high alert.
Wave watching onlookers in the state parks take in views of high surf ahead of Erin.
And we are now under a tropical storm watch as we brace for a near miss from a powerfully and large Hurricane Erin.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Ocean City lifeguards watching the ocean. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with swimming shut down and angry seas along the coast. It looks like some rough waters in Rehoboth via our Boardwalk Plaza cam. You can just see them slamming against the beach there, those much bigger waves than what you would see on a normal day this time of year.
Almost even hard to see it. Let's go into Lewis now, where you can take a look at the much calmer conditions there out at the Delaware Bay, but that would make sense, the ocean versus the bay. Big difference there. Now to Ocean City, where lifeguards have been hunkering down underneath their stands. They still have to be out there ensuring nobody gets in the water. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zipay is live in Ocean City, and Kevin, the ocean is closed for swimming.
Maddie, it has been windy and rough all day here in Ocean City, and the Beach Patrol has been alerting anyone walking along the beach that they're not allowed in the water at this moment. And this comes during one of the busiest weeks of the summer. With rain falling from the sky, the Ocean City beach is empty. But that doesn't mean the lifeguards can have the day off.
Today, we're restricting water access.
According to the Ocean City Beach Patrol Lieutenant Mike Stone, their job is to make sure no one goes in the water.
Dangerous surf conditions, really large waves. We also have some obstructions out there. Unless you're from here, you might not know where some of the rock piles are.
While vacationer Tina Doyle had a chance to have a beach day,
we actually got one day of beach time.
Others, like Donovan Zapata's family, did not. But that's not stopping them from having fun.
We are gonna go to lunch, and to finish the day off, we're going to Sugar Planet.
People can still enjoy a walk along the beach, but if you get too close to the waves, a lifeguard will pull you back in for your safety and for theirs.
It's also dangerous for our personnel, and we want them to be able to come to work each day and leave safely, but we also need them to be there for when it is open and it is safe to go in.
With Hurricane Erin approaching, vacationers might have to wait longer before they can make a splash in the ocean. Now, according to Stone, the Ocean City Beach Patrol will be checking the weather daily, and they'll be letting the public know when they're allowed back in the water. I'm Kevin Zipay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
And with those treacherous conditions among numerous beaches, a lot of them have been closed to swimmers. Let's show you some video now from Assateague Island. Check that out. You can see a double red flag warning restrictions there. And other beach closures include Fenwick, Dewey, Rehoboth, Bethany, South Bethany, Cape Henlopen State Park, and of course, Assateague Island.
And you just heard it there in Cape Henlopen State Park. All surf, fishing, drive-on, and swimming beaches, they've been temporarily closed. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there in Cape Henlopen State Park. Emma, these beaches are closed because it's just not safe right now.
Charlie, here at the state park, it's windy, it's a little bit rainy and misty. Usually you can drive onto this beach down here, but as you can see from this closure sign, that is not allowed today, and neither is swimming at the beaches here. That didn't stop onlookers from coming to see the big waves and experience the wicked wind. That high surf and those rough conditions are the reason the state park closed down all surf fishing, drive-on crossings, and swimming beaches. The same thing is happening over at Delaware Seashore State Park and an empty beach here at Fenwick Island State Park. Onlookers at the beach Tuesday were soaking up the rare sights from a safe distance, and we spoke with one local who says she thinks the closures are smart.
I've seen rip currents really bad, but I've never seen it so windy near the water. But people are going out to all the beaches just to see it. As you can see, I can't really make it.
To be clear, the park entrance is open and you're welcome to come see the views, but swimming and driving on the beaches is not allowed right now. And DENREC says monitoring will continue over the next several days. Reporting live here in Cape Henlopen State Park, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your top concern during beach storms?
Let's take a look at the results so far. Take a look at your screen, and 74% say erosion, 12% say strong currents, 7% say travel hazards, and 7% say missed fishing.
And this is the first time we've run the poll today. Be interesting to see if these numbers switch at all. If you haven't voted yet, you can do that at coasttv.com or use the mobile app, and you can leave us a comment. Now let's take a live look into Ocean City. You can see even more of those waves just crashing against the coast as we check in with our first alert chief meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Well, we're going to take that exact same picture and begin to kind of weave to you why we're taking this so seriously, although the hurricane technically won't be a direct hit for us, but it will directly affect us. You see the waves that's pushing through right now. This is indicative of the concern for the rip current statements, as well as the beach erosion concerns for us. And this is a live view of what's going on. You can see the folks are just allowed to walk, not stand in that water. So we have the winds really racing, coming off the water at 30 mile per hour gusts, Indian River Inlet, 20 to 22 to 24 mile per hour gusts in some other areas. We're under a tropical storm watch. And an interesting question that was posed in the newsroom, well, isn't it a hurricane? Yes, let me explain something. Tropical storm watch means that we're watching out for tropical force winds, okay, under 70 mile per hour winds. If we were concerned about 75 or plus mile per hour winds, we'd be under a hurricane watch. And in addition to that, we have several areas where coastal flooding and flooding is concerned throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula. Now, coming up, we'll talk more about how the waves are going to begin to rush along the shore because of this residual effect, Maddie.
All right, thank you, Paul. The White House says negotiations are underway to arrange a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This as President Trump tries to broker peace between the two nations. NBC's Julie Sirkin shows us how today the president is talking about the next steps.
President Trump is outlining what role he sees the U.S. playing in ending Russia's war with Ukraine after Monday's meeting with top European leaders and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump telling Fox News Europe will put boots on the ground to help protect Ukraine from another Russian invasion, but the U.S. will not send American troops to join them.
When it comes to security, they're willing to put people on the ground. We're willing to help them with things, especially probably if you talk about by air, because there's nobody has the kind of stuff we have. Really, they don't have.
The president also throwing cold water on the idea of Ukraine joining NATO, a key objection from Russian President Vladimir Putin.
It was something that was never going to happen. So they asked for it, and they shouldn't have asked for it because it was, very insulting thing.
The president's comments come as the White House tries to arrange face-to-face negotiations between Putin and Zelensky.
Ukraine will never stop on the way to peace, and we are ready for any kind of formats, but on the level of leaders.
Russia is pushing to keep much of the Ukrainian territory it occupies, about 20% of the country, something Zelensky said will not happen. And European allies are backing him up.
If you take the relative landmass of what Russia wants right now from Ukraine, it would be a little bit like you giving up Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, even Virginia, and then bumping into Maryland.
The president believes his relationship with Putin will help bring peace to the region, as caught in this hot mic moment with French President Emmanuel Macron.
I think he wants to make a deal. I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand? I think as crazy as it sounds.
But the president admits nothing is guaranteed.
We're going to see where it all goes. It's possible that he doesn't want to make a deal.
So the question now is, where would a potential meeting between Putin and Zelensky take place? The International Criminal Court has a warrant out for Putin's arrest, so his international travel is limited to just a few countries. Earlier today, though, Switzerland said it would grant immunity to Putin if the talks were scheduled there. In Washington, Julie Sirkin, NBC News.
The Cape May Lewis Ferry announced the return of its zoo excursion package for fall 2025. On select Mondays, the package includes round-trip foot passage on the ferry, shuttle transportation, and admission to the zoo. Reservations are strongly recommended due to a 32-passenger limit on the shuttle. An accessibility shovel service is available with notification required at the time of booking. You can find more information about the zoo excursion package on our website at coasttv.com.
The prices of homes in the U.S. dropped slightly in the month of July. That's according to Redfin Home Price Index, which reported prices dropping by 0.1% last month. Redfin said on a year-over-year basis, prices only grew by 2.9%, the lowest rate since 2012, while home buyers in the market dropped to the lowest level in more than a decade. Additionally, Redfin said that many would-be home buyers are reluctant to move because prices are still near record highs, mortgage rates remain elevated, and economic uncertainty persists.
COVID vaccines for kids, what the American Academy of Pediatrics has to say and what age groups should receive them.
We have several coastal flood advisories to go along with the impending impact of Aaron. I'll show you what I'm tracking coming up.
But first, a flu vaccine you can take from home, who approved it, how to use it, and more up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
For the first time this flu season, many Americans will have the option to give themselves the flu shot. Flu Mist is approved by the U.S. FDA for use at home, and it can be ordered online.
Elizabeth Bowden from AstraZeneca explains to us how it's used.
Quite easy to administer. All they do is take it out of its packaging, put it into one nostril, spray the device, remove a clip from the middle, and then spray it into the other nostril.
Flu Mist manufacturer AstraZeneca says that this vaccine has been on the market for more than 20 years and it is safe and effective.
This is just the first time it will be approved for self-administration at home.
With school around the corner, Indian River School District announces they are adding weapons detection systems at Indian River and Sussex Central High School. These systems will be in place for the 2025-2026 school year. The district advises students to come prepared for this change by having their Chromebooks and metal water bottles already removed from their backpacks. This is so they can easily be handed to school personnel without setting off the system.
Here's a look at our Bay forecast. Cloudy for Wednesday. Thursday is going to be the day in which Aaron will begin to have an impact on us. I'm going to give you the latest on Aaron and the different residual effects of this monstrous size storm. I think the most interesting scenario dealing with Aaron is the fact that Aaron is expected to continue to lose strength and downgrade to a Category 2, but it's growing in size. And because it's expanding while it's becoming, let's say, less depth as far as the low pressure center is concerned, we still have concerns along our neck of the woods because of its girth alone. We see right now we can see how the waters in the seas are a bit on the rough side, and we're expecting at least scattered showers to continue until 7 o'clock. Here's a look at the wind gusts. We're looking at winds coming off of the water up to 28 miles per hour Indian River Inlet, 23 mile per hour gusts in Ocean City. Now, speaking of Ocean City, West Ocean City, this area now under a tropical storm watch, meaning we're watching out for tropical storm force winds. Now, if we are expecting 75 mile per hour winds or more, we'd be under a concern for a possible hurricane watch. But this is because of the amount of wind or the strength of the winds, not that Aaron's going to be downgraded to a tropical storm, just for clarity's sake. Someone asked that question. We also have small craft advisories and gale wind concerns for us off of the coast, along with coastal flood watch for flooding along the coast, as well as the possibility of flooding throughout the inland areas. That's the distinction between the two, okay? So we're watching out for possibly up to a foot of inundation as a result of that. This goes for Fenwick Island down to Ocean City over towards Gray Corners. And then for the Salisbury area, we have a hurricane statement basically indicating if you're throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula, you could possibly receive some of the residual effects of Aaron because Aaron is just that big. And then we have small craft advisory on the other side there. Now, here's a look at the rain right now. It's relatively light stuff. This is not rain that's due to Aaron. This is from a low pressure system that's just among it. Now, rip currents are becoming even more intense. That was just released literally about a minute and a half ago. So rip currents are becoming even more intense off of the coast. Please keep that in mind. That's why they're keeping you out of the water. Now, we're seeing this low pressure system that's causing the rain that we're experiencing right now. Where's Aaron? Way out there. But here's a look at the wave forecast. For Wednesday between 5 to 9, Thursday 8 to 13 feet, Friday 5 to 8 feet, then we go back down to 3 feet possibly by Saturday. This is a look at Aaron right now. Sustained winds at 105 miles per hour. It's moving to the north-northwest, chugging along slowly at 10 miles per hour. The pressure right now, 958 millibars. Now, we're expecting it to stay at Category 2 as it swings close to the North Carolina coast, where they're concerned and started evacuations mandatory there. And then it swings out to deeper waters and becomes cooler and loses some of its strength. Now, the latest tracking is indicating it's going to be about 250 miles away from us as it veers away from Delmarva Peninsula. And that's when it becomes a little bit less strength. But take a look at this windshield. For example, when you take a look at the windshield, we're looking at 39-mile-per-hour winds, and then it's going to ease its way out, okay? So that kind of shows you how that near miss is going to happen for us, and that's just the outer ridge of it. But here's what happens as a result of that. You see this color? We're looking at 8 to 10-foot wave or push for us between Dewey Beach and Bottom Hills. And then, let's say from Ocean View all the way down to Ashinkatig, I'm going to switch sides so you can see this a little bit better. You see that deeper red? That's 12 foot that's going to be moving in our area. So this is our anticipated concern for us with strong rip currents and swells. So we're looking for Aaron to track and the tidal flooding and beach erosion to be a concern for us. And then as you take a look at what's happening for the 4 o'clock, we anticipate that we're going to see things begin to kind of chill out for us as we go into the next couple of days. That being said, we are expecting for our extended forecast. Here we go. We're looking for, there we go. For Wednesday, 82 for the high, then down to 78 with dangerous swells and rip currents on Thursday.
Thank you, Paul. In a break with current recommendations from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, another medical group says infants and young children should get COVID-19 vaccine shots. The CDC says current COVID-19 vaccine recommendations for children 6 months to 17 years old should be on, quote, based on shared clinical decision-making. But the American Academy of Pediatrics says all children aged 6 through 23 months should get a COVID-19 vaccine unless they have known allergies. The Food and Drug Administration said it may not renew authorization for Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine for children younger than 5.
Heads up in the Cape community, that community day has been canceled tomorrow due to weather conditions. It was supposed to happen from 4 to 7 p.m. According to the school district's Facebook page, there's no rain date yet, but Cape does plan to have another community day sometime in the future. Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 7, we have Shorebirds live baseball as they take on the Kannapolis Cannonballers. Then at 10:30, the final score.
Coming up, Home Depot prices on the rise. We're going to tell you why. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Fixing and remodeling things around your house could get a little more expensive. Home Depot announcing prices on some of its items. They're likely to go up. The nation's largest home improvement retailer says the Trump administration's tariffs are having a ripple effect on their products. Home Depot says about 50% of its inventory is imported from suppliers outside the U.S. The company says while some products will go up in price, not all of them will.
The Justice Department is set to turn over records related to Jeffrey Epstein this week. House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer says his panel should start receiving documents Friday. The committee subpoenaed the DOJ and set an August 19th deadline for those records. The panel also subpoenaed 10 witnesses to testify on the case. The committee chair said former Attorney General Bill Barr testified that Epstein died by suicide and there was no foul play. The Worcester County Health Department says a rabid raccoon was found near St. Martin's Neck Road in Bishopville, Maryland. The health department says please contact them if you or your pet maybe has had any interaction with this raccoon. And they also say be sure to vaccinate all of your pets for rabies. Let's go ahead and take one more live look outside into Lewis. One more check on the forecast after this.
Coming up new on Coast TV News at 6, a look inside Ocean City's Emergency Operations Center ahead of severe weather. That story and more on Coast TV News at 6.
Here's a look at Laurel, misty and still rainy a bit there. Could use an umbrella. Oh, speaking of umbrellas, Barry Thompson of Selbyville, you're our umbrella giveaway winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Watching out for dangerous swells and rip currents. Rip currents are becoming more severe That was just announced from the National Hurricane Center as well as the National Weather Service. And so we're looking for really treacherous conditions for Wednesday, but particularly for Thursday with some of the wind gusts, according to my latest model run, up to 51-mile-per-hour gusts are expected.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.